Right now at 6, beating the burnout, how experts say employees can avoid work-life stress. Plus, the strain low water levels are causing on boat owners across the Northland. And later, raising money to save lives, the community donations needed by the St. Louis County Rescue Squad.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Natalie Grant. Kristen is on assignment tonight. Thanks for joining us. Now, before we start, you may notice that our captioning is not working tonight. We're dealing with some faulty equipment and hope to have our captioning back as soon as possible. But turning to our first story tonight, our nation's current staffing shortage is straining more than just businesses. It's impacting people's lives outside of work, too. Many employees have been picking up extra shifts or taking on new duties to make up for that loss in staff. But that added work can just lead to massive burnout very quickly. CBS 3's Abigail Smith spoke with experts to find out how you can avoid that becoming a reality. Abigail, what can you tell us?
Yeah, so the pandemic has become a large burnout trigger for a lot of people as they try to adapt back to normalcy, including employees at Duluth restaurant Sarah's Table. We spoke with one kitchen worker there, Sam Courtney, who says he and other cooks are working 45, 55, up to 70 to 80 hours a week. He says he's even hit a 96-hour work week recently. Life coaches define burnout as a state of extreme exhaustion that can start out with subtle signs that grow over time. Mental health advocates encourage workers to find pockets of peace in each day, like eating well, exercising, and refreshing yourself in small ways to combat burnout. Well, that can be hard when there's not enough staff around. Courtney says there's some small act for yourself can make a big difference.
I think it's just a lack of having personal time sometimes. And so I think that's where maybe the burnout maybe comes from, is just not having to enjoy other things in life besides what you do for work.
Courtney also says the burnout feeling has been more noticeable for the past month or so. Courtney and mental health advocates say the best way to deal with burnout is taking care of yourself while working, including staying hydrated, eating well, and giving yourself a moment to breathe.
All right, well, Abigail Smith live for us in the studio tonight. Thanks, Abigail. Minnesota's Department of Employment and Economic Development released employment numbers for the month of June today. That data shows employment rose across the state of Minnesota in June 2021 compared to last. Minnesota has gained 59% of jobs since last spring. 9 industries gained jobs over last year, with leisure and hospitality jobs gaining 32%, adding up to more than 61,000 jobs. Now, other industries that saw notable growth were education and health services, business, trade, transportation, and construction. Now, this data also shows growth was at its strongest in the Duluth, Superior, and Rochester metro areas. Duluth's Planning and Economic Director Chris Feely says that's because key tourism is key for hospitality.
Hospitality and tourism jobs have come back, really with a vengeance, which is really exciting. I mean, really to have people be able to come back to work. And really the challenge for most of those employers is to find enough employees, and our workforce team has been working on that.
Minnesota's unemployment rate remained at 4% last month compared to the national rate of just under 6%. Now, despite that growth, the state lost around 600 jobs last month. Both financial activities and information sectors showed over the last year losses in Minnesota, with more than 4,400 jobs lost. New data shows that the Delta variant is now responsible for 75% of COVID cases in Minnesota. That data published by the Star Tribune says the Delta variant is now the dominant form of the virus, especially in areas with low vaccination rates. It also accounts for 83% of new cases nationwide. COVID cases in Minnesota are on the rise following the 4th of July holiday. According to the CDC, COVID hotspot areas include Arkansas, Missouri, Florida, Louisiana, Nevada, and Wyoming. Dave joins us now for a quick look at that forecast. We were talking earlier, might need to break out the sweatshirts for the rest of the night tonight, but it might get a little bit warmer.
Yeah, the cool down lasted about 2 days, and tomorrow it's going to start to warm up again, and it'll be downright hot by the weekend. So those of you who like the cooler conditions, this is the last gasp of it. And Speaking of gasping, unfortunately, Minnesota's side of life is looking at a continued air quality alert, and this live look up towards Ash Lake in between Cook Ore and International Falls shows a gray sky from that Canadian wildland fire smoke. For Minnesotans, that alert will stay in effect through early tomorrow morning. Then hopefully it'll start to lift as temperatures go up. So it's always a mixed bag here. You got to pay the piper. Well, we could cash in on a little chance for rain in our area. We so desperately need it, and we finally do have a shot. It's only a 40% chance tonight and a 30% chance tomorrow and Friday as well as this low-pressure system works through our area. I'll show you a chart of how much rain could come a few more minutes down the road here, but right now we show you the short-term forecast, which does call for rain tonight and through tomorrow. And if high temps are only in the 60s for a lot of towns today, tomorrow we do go back towards 80. Will 90 be doable once we get through the weekend? There's some vague rumors going around, and I'll talk about whether they're true or not in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, if you've taken the boat out on the water this summer, you've likely been dodging rocks or stumps that may seem a lot more prominent this year. That's because after nearly 2 years of decreased rainfall, Northland lakes are seeing some seriously low water levels. CBS 3's Quinn Gorham spoke with the owner of a marina in Lake Vermilion today to see just how bad those water levels are.
On a normal year, the water levels here on Lake Vermilion can go all the way up to this water line. But this year, the water levels have fallen to the point where it's below the boat launch. Lake Vermilion, one of the largest lakes in Minnesota, has dropped by more than a foot. General Manager of Rubens Marina in Lake Vermilion, Dan Carnicum, says they've had to make changes to prevent damage to boats. That includes adding a buoy to warn passing boats of shallow waters. He also says residents and resort owners on the lake have been extending their docks and moving boat lifts to make do. It's a good fix in the meantime, but Carnicum says he's really hoping for rain. But even if a short burst of rain were to help fill the lakes again, the dry weather would continue to pose problems for the area.
One of the larger issues, though, would be if we got a sudden downpour, it'd all run off quick, might help the lake, but we also still have that critical fire danger.
Carnicum says the water levels that they're seeing now are usually more characteristic of late fall, but they almost never see water this low at the peak of summer. The lake is going to need a lot of steady precipitation in order to return to its normal levels, which may not happen until next year.
Thanks, Quinn. Well, in the meantime, Carnicum says the drought hasn't had much impact on visitors to the lake. He says they'll continue to adapt with the climate to make sure things run as normal as possible. Low lake levels have been keeping boat repair shops busy this summer. One Hermantown propeller shop has seen a particular influx in business. The low water levels makes it easier for boats to hit things like rocks or stumps, damaging their propellers or the bottom of the boat. Prop shop company reps say this is only going to continue as we see warmer weather and lower water levels throughout the summer.
I think we're sitting at about 2,000 repairs already, and we opened up April 1st this year. And that's just in props.
The prop shop says they don't see business slowing down anytime soon. The MPCA now says there have been 9 drilling fluid spills at Line 3 pipeline construction sites. That announcement comes after Enbridge admitted to a spill at the Willow River site. The MPCA says that's the only spill that entered a waterway. The other 8 happened near the drill entry or exit points. The agency says these kinds of spills are common, and Enbridge has a cleanup plan in place. The pipeline replacement project is more than 70% done. Environmental and Native groups are still protesting, concerned about environmental impacts. We are taking a live look now at the deck. The Duluth Convention Center just got the largest grant since the pandemic began. The Duluth Convention Center received more than $750,000 as part of the Shuttered Venue Operations Grant. Funds will be split between labor costs, utilities, and maintenance. This is the 3rd grant the deck got during the pandemic, and it will help them prepare for upcoming events.
Our message is that we are ready to have people come, and we're so excited to have our upcoming season. We're booking more and more events every day, and I think it's going to be a great summer.
The grant program, sponsored by Senator Amy Klobuchar, includes more than $16 billion in grants to venues shuttered during the pandemic. At the end of 2020, deck leaders estimated their revenue was down more than 50%, adding up to about $6.3 million. We now know the name of the man who died when he rear-ended a tractor near Solon Springs. The crash happened on Highway 53 yesterday morning. Today, authorities said 66-year-old Stephen Snyder from Rice Lake died in that crash. The Superior woman who was driving the highway department's mower was also hurt, but she is expected to be okay. Still to come on live local CBS 3, for the 5th consecutive year, the St. Louis County Rescue Squad has completed over 400 rescue missions. Why the volunteers are asking for your help, coming up next.
Today's high temp was 64. The normal is 78. The record is 93 from 1892. That's an oldie. Well, as we go through the weekend, temperatures will warm up. Next week, will we get towards 93 or so? I'll talk about the odds coming up, and we'll also talk about the chance for some rain tonight through Friday.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Villa Marina Health and Rehabilitation Center.
At Play It Again Sports, we have the largest selection of new and used hockey equipment in the area, along with a huge selection of hockey sticks, apparel, and cross-country skis.
Trade in, trade up, and save!
Villa Marina Health and Rehabilitation Center is a beautiful one-level facility in Superior, Wisconsin, with 24-hour skilled nursing care. With a 5-star rating by Medicare, you can expect high-quality care. We offer a variety of services, including restorative care after a hospital stay, intensive rehabilitative therapy care after surgery, or long-term care for those who are no longer able to handle the necessities of daily life on their own. To learn more, call or visit Villa Marina Health Center in Superior.
You need fast, reliable internet, but it's not a one-size-fits-all world. At Mediacom, we have a pricing plan for everyone. You can get our starting internet service for $19.99 a month for a year. And with that comes a great deal of speed. We're talking 60 meg, because unlike other providers, we want you to have fast internet from the start. Extreme speeds go up to 1 gig with lots of options to choose from. So let's talk. Call us today at 844-EXTREME2.
We can help you at Ketamine North Infusion Center.
In public safety, we see things that sometimes you can't unsee. After these infusions, everything just kind of turned around and I was able to start enjoying things again.
To learn more, give us a call or visit us online.
Funerals can be emotionally devastating for a family to go through. Besides the sorrow, loved ones are left with the high cost of arranging a funeral. Funeral Advantage was formed to help protect your family when they need it most. It pays your loved ones up to $20,000 immediately for funeral and any other expenses.
It's a good feeling to know that my family will be taken care of if anything happens to me.
Funerals can easily cost $9,000 or more, but government benefits pay only $255, leaving your loved ones to pay the rest.
It's so easy. Just answer a few simple health questions. This is so affordable, even for someone like me who's on a fixed income.
If you're 40 to 85, get information on how to protect your family. Funeral Advantage is something we all need. There's no risk or obligation. Call now.
Get the facts about how easy it is to protect your family. There's no risk or obligation. Don't wait. Call the number on your screen now.
Hello, house guests.
Oh, we're in the Big Brother house!
This competition starts now.
I was like, game on. Let's do this. Like a ninja.
I am just the hot mess express.
Trust no one and win everything.
The pressure is turned up. I'm coming in this house to win.
I'm going to win every competition.
Win Big Brother tonight at 8/7 Central or stream anytime.
I'm so excited.
On CBS.
Get your news on the go. The CBS 3 mobile app. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
That air quality alert still persists today in Minnesota, at least most of Minnesota. Looks like Lake County, Cook County off the hook. And Wisconsin fell off the hook, too, because of a wind shift there. Southerly winds pushing the smoke away. Still an easterly wind in Minnesota, so the air quality alert stays in effect through tomorrow morning. And, of course, if you have breathing difficulties, you know what to do to stay safe during the situation. Hopefully things ease up for you tomorrow afternoon. As the air quality goes up, well, temperatures will go up as well, so it's a bit of a balancing act here. Now, also going on right now is a beach hazard alert for Park Point and for Wisconsin Point because of the easterly wind. Rip currents are possible. So Weather Service says don't go swimming till 10 o'clock. And since it'll be dark then, park closes, I think, at 10. Put off the swimming till tomorrow. Hopefully it's a better day for you to get out into the water. Let's take a look at what's happening right now in the air at the airport. It's 62 degrees. 75% is our relative humidity. And we're looking at, if you can see it with the haze, an easterly, northeasterly wind at 9 miles per hour. I suppose it's easier to feel the wind than to see it. Anyway, air pressure, if you're looking at a barometer, should say 30.15 inches there, which is on the higher side at the surface. But it's still a little bit lower up aloft, and that's why you have clouds and a chance for rain tonight. Current temperature 66 to 71 in the Upper Peninsula, and we're eyeing up about 65 to 70 or 64 to 70 to be more specific in northwestern Wisconsin. And Minnesota numbers are around 70 down towards Moose Lake, but much of the rest of the state, up north at least, is in the 60s. Low temps tonight, probably 50s and 60s, followed by a warm-up coming our way tomorrow. So this cooler than normal business past 2 days won't last forever. Doppler map right now shows a low pressure system coming our way out of Montana. It's the second of two, and this one is paying off a little bit better than the one from just the other day. 40% chance some of these showers and even isolated thunderstorms will touch your town as the night goes on, shifting to a 30% chance tomorrow. But that 30% chance does last through Friday. So by Friday night, rain totals might look like this. And they're not that impressive for most towns, going about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. But there are a few exceptions. The UP may be on the thicker side as far as rain totals go. And up around Ely, might get close to 1/2 of an inch. We'll be playing this by ear and keeping our eye on the system as we track it through our area. Now, tonight, low temps in Minnesota should run about 55 to 63, and the chance for the rain is 40%. In Wisconsin and Michigan, the chance is 40% as well, with lows there around 60 for most Wisconsin towns and upper 50s into the UP. Tomorrow, Wisconsin, Michigan high temps do start to perk up again and should run 80 to 85 with a 30% chance for more showers and isolated thunderstorms as well. Minnesota gets the storm chance too, 70s by the lake, 80 to 85 inland, which does set the stage for things to get warmer through the weekend. Upper 80s for the weekend with a mostly sunny sky, upper 80s on Monday as well, and then that culminates in a spike towards the low 90s on Tuesday. That warmth may be enough to provide enough lift to create some showers and thunderstorms on their own, which then becomes a little bit cooler by Wednesday with a drop back to the mid-80s.
All right, thanks, Dave. In 2020, the St. Louis County Rescue Squad performed more than 460 missions. That's the 5th in a row that's topped that number of 400. That means a lot of hours for the volunteer-based group, which can come at a high cost. CBS 3's Emma Quinn shares why the squad is now asking for your help so they could possibly one day save your life.
In 2020, the St. Louis County Rescue Squad put in more than 26,000 hours during some tragic times.
We are not in the life-saving business. I don't like when people say that. We are in the helping people out of a jam business.
Responding to water emergencies, missing person, or medical calls, those long hours come with thousands of dollars worth of equipment and training. That's why the squad is once again asking the community for donations. You may have gotten an envelope like this one in your mailbox.
We're our own teaching institution for medical certification, so a lot of medical supplies, medical training aids, simulations, things like that.
After responding to 7 fatal water emergencies already this year, more than all of last summer, the squad also hopes to increase its water rescue gear with more swift water rigs. From
rivers like St. Louis River to when Lake Superior gets angry offshore. And we're slowly trying to ramp up. It costs about $2,000 to buy a swiftwater rig.
For the Duluth Fire Department, having community partners like the rescue squad is critical, especially during water emergencies.
They've got a lot more resources than we do as far as boats go. They've got quite a few boats and some other specialty water equipment. So if we're looking for a possible drowning victim, they're a vital part of that.
The squad also receives funding through state and federal grants, but as a completely volunteer-run organization, Slatton says they rely largely on donations from the community. You can find a link on our website with more information. Well, Alexis Bass has made her way back into the Northland after an exciting day yesterday in Milwaukee.
Exciting to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly It's not often that I'm speechless, and I think after last night, I truly have no words.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Exciting day for the Bucks. Well, what do we got coming up today?
Yeah, a drought finally receives water, and no, I'm not talking about a recent Northland drought. The Milwaukee Bucks have had a 50-year drought up until last night's epic championship victory. I will reel in sports next.
CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChef.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChef.com, a better way to buy.
Medicare Decomplicated, brought to you by UCare. Question, can I keep my doctor with a UCare Medicare plan? Yes. With 96% of all Minnesota providers in our network, it's more than likely you can keep your doctor. See? Decomplicated.
Summer is here. Enjoy it in style with hot fashions for the whole family. Find big bargains on sandals, rubber boots, and trail shoes from Keen, Teva, Merrell, Chaco, Columbia, and the North Face. Get your family's summer fit with the entire line of Columbia and the North Face clothing. New colors, styles on capris, tees, shorts, rain, wind, and fleece jackets, and UPF sun-rated clothing. Get smart wool and darn tough socks for the whole family. Northwest Outlet Superior. We'll make sure you look good.
Unlock a summer of possibilities in a new Chevy. Expand your options and your perspective. Find your next adventure in a new Chevy.
Make no monthly payments for the rest of the summer on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, get 2.49% financing for 72 months and get $2,000 cash allowance.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
Go to the ends of the earth.
Very pleasant place to be. I couldn't ask for anything more.
And reach for the stars.
Where's the ask? Oh, this is great.
Do you still love it?
I do. But wait, there's more.
Experience thought-provoking.
It was literally like Groundhog Day.
I do know what makes a good movie.
Innovative.
It's hard not to overflow.
And truly original reporting. Because there's always something new under the sun on CBS Sunday morning.
Sports are my passion and the love of my life. And when you watch a sportscast, the biggest compliment that I get is that you seem so excited about what you're talking about. And that's not an act for me. Who doesn't want to see someone, you know, deliver their news in a fun way? So if you love it, I love it. You're gonna see the authenticity that I think I bring.
Watch Sports with Kelly Hinseth, weeknights on Live Local, CBS3.
Medicare Decomplicated, brought to you by UCare. Question, how much does a Medicare plan cost? $0. That's where they start with UCare Medicare Advantage plans. There's a plan for everyone with a range of benefits and costs. See? Decomplicated.
The 50-year wait is over. The Milwaukee Bucks are on top of the basketball world once again, and they got to do it in front of a sea of fans last night. It wasn't easy, but the Bucks were able to pull out a 3-2 series win over the Phoenix Suns last night. They're just the 5th team ever to come back from a 0-2 deficit and win the NBA Finals, winning 4 straight games, one on the road to claim the championship. Giannis finished with 50 points in Game 6, just the 7th ever player to get to a 50 in a finals game. 6 other players have done it, and all of them are in the Hall of Fame. 8 seasons and a Supermax contract after being drafted by the Bucks, Giannis delivered a title.
I wanted to get the job done, you know, but that's my stubborn side. Like, it's easy to go somewhere and go and win a championship with somebody else. It's easy. I could go, I don't want to put anybody in the spot, but I could go to a super team and, you know, just do my part and win a championship, still won. But this is the hard way to do it, and this is the way, and we did it. We did it, man.
And you bet Giannis, of course, won the Finals MVP as well. Meanwhile, the bigger party was outside Visor Forum last night in the Deer District Plaza, which was expanded for Game 6 of the finals to accommodate 65,000 fans, 40,000 more than they had previously hosted, surrounding the stadium on 3 sides. And it turned into a party before the game even started. About a half hour before tip-off, the entrances had to be blocked off because they were already at capacity, so people lined the streets anyways. There was confetti, fireworks, and other antics that you might expect. The Deer District was crowded well into the night as Wisconsinites celebrated the second ever Bucks championship and first since 1971. And a sign of the times changes as the Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA championship. Workers are reaching high to switch out the sign outside Visor Forum in Milwaukee today, replacing history in the making with history made. The move comes after the Bucks bested the Phoenix Suns last night, winning both series and tying the team's first ever championship in 50 years. So, of course, they have to throw a parade tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. in downtown Milwaukee. Governor Tony Evers and Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett will participate in the festivities as well. After the 13-block parade, the Bucks will have a championship celebration around 12:30 on the main stage in the Deer District. And switching gears, news out of the hockey state this afternoon. Former UMD defenseman and Minnesota Wild Carson Soucy is on the move out west, leaving his home state after playing for the Minnesota Wild. According to reports, the Seattle Kraken have taken their pick from the Wild's protected players, selecting Soucy for their first roster in franchise history. The Wild's top 5D now shrinks to a top 3D under contract with Jonas Borden. Selections of the NHL expansions draft for Seattle Kraken will be officially announced on Wednesday. During his 108 games played for the Wild, Soucy scored 8 goals and 31 points. So obviously we dominated with Bucks news tonight, but of course, understandably so. It's been 50 years since you've announced such a title like this.
I know, it's kind of nice to see it back here in the Northland. Minnesota sports, we don't win those a lot. So
I know, maybe the
nice
Timberwolves have something to learn too. We don't know.
Who knows? All right, sounds good. Thanks, Alexis. Well, coming up tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, the Quetico fires in the Canadian side of the BWCA are burning more than 19,000 acres combined. Some fire officials are worried the fires could cross the border into Minnesota side of the Boundary Waters. Tonight, we'll hear from Superior National Forest leaders about their plan to fight the blaze. Dave, last check of the weather here as we're heading into there. I'm sure they would appreciate some rain up there.
Yeah, and we do have at least a slight chance for the next couple of days. May not add up to much, but it's better than nothing, as I always say. So, eyeing up that 7-day forecast, the chance for rain tonight is 40%. Tomorrow it's 30%, maybe punctuated by a little lightning here and there. That continues into Friday, and by the time all is said and done, I do think most towns are going to manage only about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Getting into Saturday and Sunday, higher pressure brings back sunshine and also warms things up again. This 2-day cool down we have right now from an easterly wind becomes a warm spell from a southerly wind that may lead all the way to 92 on Tuesday, which in turn could trigger more storms.
All right, thanks, Dave. Well, that's your CBS3 News at 6. We'll see you right back here tonight at 10.